We know it's been a very hard few days for students, parents, and teachers after the tragic news from Monday.
Yeah, and that is why we've invited Dr. Shelah Radke from Mercy here to help with very real trauma and grief, and we want to give you some resources this morning. So thank you, doctor, for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I think a lot of people are just feeling so many big emotions and trying to cope with those. What are some signs that maybe a child might be internalizing some of the trauma of the shooting, and what can parents do?
Yeah, so most of the time at the beginning, we're all going to feel distress and anxiety related to an event like this. You'll see some stomach aches, headaches, trouble focusing, more emotions. That's normal for anyone who goes through something like this. So if that goes on beyond the first couple of weeks, then we want to look into that a little bit more. I think the most important thing that we can do is engage with our children, connect with them, check in and see how they're feeling. That way we can tell when there are changes.
And there are a number of people in our community that can look for signs, not just parents, but teachers and guardians and things like this. A lot of folks want to know, how do you know if somebody could become a perpetrator? What signs should you be looking for there that somebody might be unhinged and ready to let go?
Well, most of the time what we've seen in the past with these cases is that people communicate in some way that they have an intent to harm, and so that is our biggest clue. There are hotlines that children can call if they hear about that, but that would be one of the key pieces of information that would be really important for peers and families, teachers. If we hear that someone is having these kinds of thoughts or saying things that are supportive to these kinds of events, then we would want to reach out and connect and let people know.
These are such heavy topics, right? And
Yeah.
you have kids from all different walks of life and from all different age ranges. Is there anything that you can give us that might be helpful for age appropriateness, to bring something up like this? I have to be honest, I have not told my 4-year-old son about, what happened, but it certainly makes me think, okay, how would I have a conversation with him?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people want to know, what tools can I actually use for my children at certain ages?
Yeah, so with preschoolers, younger children, if they don't need to know,
Right.
if they're not going to find out at school from someone, then we would try to limit their knowledge of this. They just don't have the context
Sure.
to really be able to understand it and engage with it. If they're directly affected or they're going to find out at school, then you would want them to find out from you, from a loving, trusted adult first. So what I tend to recommend is we start with things just kind of like gentle questions, like I was feeling sad about something, that I heard. I'm, wondering what you're thinking, and let them be your guide. They'll ask questions and try to keep it simple and limited.
Sure.
Well, thank you very much for coming in this morning. And I think it's
Dr.
very,
Radke.
very helpful for our viewers, not just the kids, but adults as well. They're dealing with a lot right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, grief is not linear at all. Thank you so much, Dr. Radke. If you need someone to talk to, we do have some resources available this morning. Behavioral Health Response has a crisis line and a youth connection helpline. If you or someone you know would like to talk with a clinician free of charge, you can do that. Also, we know that YWCA Metro St. Louis has a 24-hour helpline as well. And these are just a few resources out there. We do have a full list of help on our website, ksdk.com, in the As Seen on TV section.